One thing I've noticed working behind the scenes in real estate is that most people only ever see the front end. The listings, the showings, the sold sign. What they don't see is everything quietly happening in the background to keep things organized and moving forward. Hi, I'm Tanya Nixon with Robert Nixon Personal Real Estate Corporation, and I handle a lot of the behind the scenes organization and systems. So the setup, why the back end matters. I don't work directly with clients very often, but from the admin side, I see the same patterns over and over again. When things feel smooth, it's usually because we're following a system and using the tools we already have in place. When things feel stressful, it's often because something small was missed, not because anyone did anything wrong, but because we weren't following the system as closely as we should have. And honestly, when things get busy, that's when things, especially little things, can start to slide. Emails pile up, tasks move faster, and if you're not grounded in a process, that's usually when stress shows up. How small things turn into big stress. A lot of stress in real estate doesn't come from big problems. It usually comes from small things stacking up. A document that didn't get handed in or saved properly, a task that wasn't tracked, a follow-up that slipped. Individually, those things aren't a big deal, but when they compound, that's when everything starts to feel heavier than it needs to be. A good example is even like the littlest things, like for myself, putting the subject removal dates and completions and possession dates into the calendar. Like I have a whiteboard that I put that information on so I can visually see it on the whiteboard. But sometimes, depending on how busy I am, I might forget to put it into the calendar. Robert, I think, works better off of the calendar because he can see the reminder because he does use his phone a fair amount, where myself, because I'm mostly at the computer, I tend to like to see it visually. So I like to see it tangible. So having it in both places is really, really good. Sometimes I forget and don't put it in both places. I'll just have it on the one place. And then that's where it's something small can just make things harder, because then he has to call me or text me or has to go into the contract itself on his phone. And sometimes it's not as easy as just clicking on your calendar and being oh, there it is, having to go into Google Drive and then find the client folder that the offer is in. It's more steps than it needs to be. So like I said, something small, just doing not putting in his calendar but having it up on the board is can make it a bigger issue than it has to be, kind of thing. So right now we're trying to get back to basics and focus on the systems that have broken down. So one thing that we've had to be honest about internally is that as things got busier, some of our core systems broke down. So for example, Robert used to be part of Richard Robbins, and we've got lots of good training tools and systems and stuff from Richard Robbins. And I was using them a fair amount when we first got them. And then, I don't know, I ended up getting a job and was only working part-time. And then we also got busy. So then it kind of fell off for me to be using these checklists and stuff like that. So for me, it was I felt kind of hard to explain, but for me, I was okay, well, I know everything. I know what needs to be done. But for Robert, because he had to kind of step in a little bit and do some of the admin work, he didn't know what was done. So that's where falling off and not using those systems consistently can be a problem. And we just it can hinder you, and then you end up missing stuff last year I implemented, because I found because I had a VA, we had a VA at a virtual assistant. It was a little bit easier for me to be a little bit more organized, I guess, like not trying to say, but I don't know, not to pass the buck or anything like that, but by having the VA taking on tasks like posting on social media and stuff like that, and like having somebody that's editing our videos and took some stress off of me, so I could actually focus on doing like the checklists and like making sure that things weren't getting missed. But and plus we were quite busy last year, and I think that's why it kind of like slacked off for me a little bit too, because like when it gets busy, you're like just constantly like working and handing in paperwork and doing this and this and this and this. So then the checklist kind of slid off again. I did catch back up, especially like our tracking and stuff like that. Like I was tracking how many deals we were doing, where clients were coming from, and It did fall off, but I would always go back to it and like redo it after it quieted down a little bit. So, I mean, but the whole point of having these checklists is to stay really on top of it. But something like that, and I did let it slide a little bit, but then I was like, okay, I haven't done this for a few months. I need to get back on it and like get caught up again. And I'm not gonna lie, this year I haven't done the checklist this year. I haven't done the checklist this year, and I haven't done the track list. And honestly, Robert's doing FastCap right now, and there's this program called Sisu that actually can put your transactions into the app and actually track them that way, which I think is actually going to be a lot better than like the antiquated Excel spreadsheet that we used to do, because then it's like all in the same spot, and it's way more in depth than the one that we've got from Richard Robbins. So I took a look at it today, and I'm actually think that we'll change directions and start using that. So in some cases, so back to where I was, some cases were never fully implemented the way they should have been. Daily powerless, we got that from Atlas, and morning meetings became inconsistent. Some of the habits that kept everything aligned just weren't happening, not because anyone didn't care, but because when volume increases without structure, cracks tend to show up fast. So right now, because we are a little bit quieter, a big focus on the admin side is rebuilding those fundamentals and getting back to daily powerless and morning meetings, and putting structure around things that were previously living in people's heads. And honestly, having something live in your head is not a great spot. It's like, it's so time consuming, and then your brain just gets really, really full, and then other stuff comes up, and then you think, oh, this is more important than that other thing that was there. I mean, I tend to write things down in a notebook that I have, and I can show you my notebook. It's my notebook. It's like full of like stuff that needs to be done or has been done. I mean, for me, it's great because like it's tangible, it's in front of me. I'm at a desk, I can see it. But like, part of the problem is that even though I get to see it and I know what's being done, I wasn't sitting down at the end of the day and being like, hey, by the way, Robert, this is everything I got done today. So he's not quite sure what has been done. So now what I've been doing is I've just been emailing him everything that I've done for the day, just so he kind of knows like what's going on. Because everybody kind of should always know what is going on and whatnot. So the other thing that we've been talking about, and we actually were having a virtual assistant do, is building SOPs and clear expectations. And an SOP is a standing operating procedure. So basically how the business would run. And it's not to make things rigid, but to make them clear. So like if I was to ever quit, or like, because I'm in the process of trying to get licensed right now, we need the standing operations procedures in place, because like someone should be able to easily come into my position and be like, okay, well, this is everything, without me having to sit there and like explain everything. Like, I mean, I like to teach. I like to be hands-on. So like for me, it wouldn't be such a big deal to like sit down with someone and be like, oh, this is how you kind of deal in, and this is how you do this, and da 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 da. there might not be always time for me to sit down with somebody and be like, this is how you do this is how you do that. So if you have an SOP in place already, you can just be like, hey, go to this folder and this is going to explain to you how you do this without having somebody physically next to you showing you how to do it. And when things like this live in somebody's head, that's when things can get missed. So when they live in a system, everyone knows what done looks like. From the admin side, SOPs reduce stress for more than almost anything else, especially when workloads change or new tools are introduced. And especially with AI and stuff like that, there's always a new tool and a flashy object. So you gotta be careful with that. And why communication is just as important as systems. One thing I've learned is that systems don't work on their own. They only work when communication supports them. And that goes back to like sending my to-do list at the end of the day, what I've done. You can have the best checklist in the world, but if expectations aren't clearly communicated, things still get missed. From the admin side, communication is about making sure everyone knows what's happening and that we're all on the same page. And then what's coming next and what's already been done. When communication is clear, everything feels calmer, even when things are busy and you're stressed out of other things that might be happening in your life. An example of like communication is just like even, like license renewals and like emails that come through and stuff like that. Like a lot of stuff comes through email, and it's good to be communicating that with someone. Just because not everybody's always looking at emails, but like if you're sitting in an office and sitting at a desk all day long, then it's important that, especially if it's like something important like a license renewal, you're going to want to pass that information along and be like, hey, by the way, your license was renewed and no issues there, or I don't know. Just a lot of simple things. Or like a client that emailed, maybe like Robert didn't see it, so then I did, and just letting them know, hey, we reply back to this person. It's like sometimes it's things that I can't physically answer myself. So it's good to be passing along information. And yeah, so adapting systems as revenue tactics change. And now this one is more in regard to like leads and like cold calling. So we're trying to think of a system that supports the actual function of revenue changing. From my role, I spend a lot of time supporting the marketing side, especially like creating Facebook ads for listings and managing the admin role around those things and making sure communication and information doesn't fall through the cracks. And honestly, sometimes I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. So we figured that a lot of energy has gone into paid advertising and cold traffic. And while that has its place, it also is expensive and requires a lot of structure behind the scenes to support it properly. At the same time, we've had to be honest that past clients haven't always been supported as intentionally as they could be. We've done pieces of it here and there where like we did client events or pie drops and stuff like that, but it's not been in a consistent way. It's not been a systemized way. So a shift that's been discussed is putting more focus on systems that support past clients. Through better communication, better organization, and more consistent touch points instead of relying so heavily on paid strategies alone. From the admin and the marketing side, that changes how we think about content, ads, and communication. And honestly, the simplest thing is doing a YouTube video can like get us out in front of your guys' faces. It's less about just capturing attention and more about supporting long-term relationships. And honestly, talking about things and being relatable and like letting you guys know like what happens with real estate. Because like I said, a lot of people just get to see the front of the business. They don't always get to see like the back end and like what happens and thought processes and stuff like that go into it. So while most people see the front-facing side of real estate, there's a lot happening quietly in the background, rebuilding systems, tightening habits, and refining processes so everything runs better. It's not flashy work, but it's often the work that makes the biggest difference when things get busy. If you're curious about what actually happens behind the scenes or why systems and organization matter so much, feel free to leave a comment. You can like and subscribe. And I'll be sharing more from the admin side as we continue tightening things up. It's been great talking to you guys, and catch you on the flip side.